to make sure that, okay, YouTube is live now. We're going to try to make sure. So let me just wrap up again. So now that people are live on YouTube, yeah, good afternoon to all of you. So I wasn't around on Monday, and that's because we're trying to restructure the company. So I promised that I was going to give the reason today, and I was going to do a presentation of what we're doing as to why we couldn't do, go ahead. And we believe that when we show you what we were doing, it will inspire you to take action. So these webinars are not just around us showing you code, showing you. Sometimes we show you the handwork and what we have done. So we talked about, just before we connected to you on YouTube, we talked about being able to do another session today. So having session 26. So this is 25, and the one after this will be 26, and it's going to happen at 4:30 p.m. today. So we're just going to quickly show you something about what we have built, what we have done, and then we'll take it from there. Okay. So this is, let me just share my screen, and I'm going to be careful not to share any customer data. So I'll be sharing my screen right now. All right, so this is the Billa app. Now at WebWork Tools, we use this app to do everything around how we make money. Okay, the app is very sophisticated. It has an operations aspect, people aspect, administration, application aspect. The operations is where we do the whole of our business. The people is, where we manage both like contacts, not just customers, but contacts, who are the people we work with in order to pay us money for like invoices and subscriptions. And also us too, the team member. Then we have administration, which is where we deal with things like holidays, currencies, and what have you. So you can see the holidays we have here. I'm not going to open people, but I can show you notices. So these are some notices that have been shared with customers. So let me just give you a rundown of what this app is about, and I'll tell you what we did. So this app has certain levels of operation. We have the notices, we have the whitelist, we have the requests, we have invoices, subscriptions, and team batches. Before now, everything stopped at requests. And what we're doing was that if you send us an invoice, like if you request for a service and we send you an invoice or we start a subscription inside Zoho billing that we use, we were looping all subscriptions. But we know that Zoho has a limit of 200 records for each subscription. Okay, and with that limit, just in case we have 200 customers or 200 subscriptions or 200 invoices or more, then the 205th subscription or the 205th invoice or even the 205th customer may even have problems, because we may not be able to list more than those kind of invoices or subscriptions. So what we did was that inside the Billa app, we introduced a batch management system. And what it does is that it's all connected to Zoho Flow. What it does is it helps you to, or it helps us to manage from when somebody gets an invoice. It checks the person's support contacts. If the person doesn't have, it gives the person one. It registers the person inside the Billa app automatically. Before, we do registration in Billa app manually. Now it's automatic. And then when the person is registered, their contact ID and everything is saved there. Their invoice is going to be listed. Upon listing their invoice, what we would then do is that we would then mark the invoice with a batch number. So assuming we have, let's say, 100 invoices already created, what the system will do is that it will create another batch for that particular team, and then it will assign the 101th invoice to the new batch. So what then happens is every batch has 100 invoices, 100 subscriptions, 100, basically those two things. So what we then do here is when we are now using Zoho Flow, like any of these invoice options that you see here, when we're using Zoho Flow to check invoices for payment issues or check subscriptions, we would use Zoho Creator as maybe not a middleware, but we use Zoho Creator as a trigger. And what we use as trigger is the batch record. So we set up a script that automatically runs every morning and every evening. In the morning or in the daytime and at other times of the day, it runs at the time that is set. But in the evening, it runs at 9 p.m. Okay. So what it does is it processes all the activities in Zoho Flow, as you can see here. So this is the inside part of the app. Now it processes all the activities in Zoho Flow based on when the app is updated. So if you come to, let me see, what do you come to? If you come here now, you see, here you see two things. Now you notice that in this place, okay, people cannot add batches manually, and there's a reason for that. So we don't allow adding of batches manually. In fact, we are going to take out the manual addition of batches. You should only be able to delete batches. So there are two things that happen with batches. We have process batch and we have process night action. So process batch works, sets up the batch, does everything in the batch, which includes all the flow integrations. But the beautiful thing about what it does is that it only works with the customers and the teams inside that batch. So if you have an invoice or a subscription in that batch, that is when it will be processed. So if you have 1 million customers now, there will be quite a lot of batches here, and all the batches will run at specific schedules, almost equally at the same time, or at their specific times. And all would also run by 9 p.m. accordingly. So by 9 p.m., it's going to pick up the same batch, and it's going to execute a different set of scripts. So it has some scripts that run in the morning and some scripts that run in the evening. So when things run in the morning, for each of these batches, the affected customers get certain emails and certain things done for them according to their batches. So if you have 1 million customers, for instance, and all of them have one subscription each, and the subscription has expired, or let's say all of them ask for invoices, 1 million customers ask for invoices, and their invoices are all overdue today, all the 1 million invoices will be voided equally at the same time. So that is nowhere near possible with Zoho Creator if you just do it normally, but we found a way to use batching to solve this kind of key problem. So that being said, it's very important for you to take what we're teaching seriously. I'm going to show you a bit of the code that does processing, but I'll not be able to show you every single thing. So let me just get to, okay, let's share this tab now. So we have a function that allows us to refresh contacts. So what refresh contact does is that when a contact is automatically added, the system automatically checks if the contact has any invoices or subscriptions and gives the contact a batch. So the person gets to batch all his invoices and subscriptions automatically. And this is, what is interesting here is that the contact records are created from Zoho CRM. Yet, this is executed when the contact records are created. So when they are created, the subscriptions and the invoices will automatically be checked using these two functions here. So we have organize subscriptions and organize invoices. So they will automatically be organized for the specific customers. So again, if 1 million customers request for something from us and they want responses, the scripts will run equally at the same time for 1 million of them. So each of those customers will get feedback for their request from Zoho Creator. Now you might be asking, how do we serve 1 million requests to Zoho Creator? It's very simple. When we get to that bridge, I'm not saying that we will cross it without getting to that bridge. Definitely, there's no way we will get 1 million customers if we don't know that we're going to get them. So if we know that we're going to get them, all we're going to do is something very simple, and I'll show you. So if we go to the billing aspect of Zoho Creator of our account, you'll be able to see that we have a number of apps, and we have some limitations to Zoho Creator. Now, all we're just going to do with Zoho Creator is, even if it's through chat or urgent call, we're going to tell them to increase all these limits and give us a bill. If 1 million customers are giving us $1 each, that's $1 million. Now, $1 million is way too much money for 1 million calls. So no matter how small the profit is, we'll be able to pay for the extension of the API limits in Zoho Creator. So this video goes out to those organizations, those large organizations out there who are looking into working with Zoho, but you're worried that Zoho might not fit into your enterprise architecture and you will need to train a lot of people. Here am I, send me. You do not need to train a lot of people. You just need to get our strategy. At least you can get it now that we're teaching it for free, because after these webinars, we're going to start offering strategy, and people will be paying tickets in thousands of dollars or millions of naira in order to get some of the strategies that we're talking about for free in this video. Now, you notice that if you want to discuss them and you go to the community, we'll answer you for free. But after recording these videos, we'll mark it as done and then leave it to the hands of the community. And if you need anything premium, you're going to start having premium conversations. But now you can escape. You can just join the live stream and ask the question. And because you're in the live stream, we will answer. But when the live stream is no longer coming up by October, then you're asking us for a premium conversation. So you're asking to structure your company in a way that you have 500 branches globally and 1,000 branches globally. We are ready for that conversation as we speak. So it's important to note this. For now, we have just a little limit for what you can do in Zoho Creator, but we can increase this limit equally at any time. So that's about it. We're going to have the next video at 4:30 p.m. So let's just stay tuned. I think that's enough time to wait for the office to be somewhat lighter for us to address the issue of using the API agent as a middleware for your integrations. So thank you so much and have a great day ahead. Goodbye.